The following program contains material that is not suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the Community Media Center Marin, it's marINSANITY.
Thank you, Cheryl. She has her own show on this. Oh, you guys look like you need some doctoring, so look her up. How you doing, guys? Good? How you people at home doing? Well, we don't care about you. Yeah. Oh, it's great to see all you people out on a day like this. When you just came down there for the air conditioning. I know you people. I know. Now, that's all right.
It's the air conditioning and the cookies.
That's right, yes. Well, it's nice to be out with all the people in my own age group, you know. We got some youngsters, 45, 40. His wife, no, she's got to be 35, I know. 39. What? Yeah, you? You are? Are you really? 75. Okay, baby, that's fine. Oh dear, this is great. Look, no, age, who cares? You get to that point where you don't care anymore, right? There are people at home that are sitting there going, well, stop talking about being old, we don't give a shit. We keep going forever. I live in Marines, right? It's great living here. Yes, old. I am old, I'm English. Well, thank you for buying my furniture polish. Now, I'm so old, I was talking to those youngsters, I'm so old now, I just made the final payment on my college loan. So I should be okay now to qualify for a mortgage, right? Take me 30 years. That's all right. Yeah, I love it. Driving down here, I was thinking, I should try and be a better person. Then I couldn't think of anyone better than me, so, you know. Don't matter, does it? Oh, dear. Look at all the beautiful shoes these ladies wear. Look, this is pretty. Pink shoes. Well, these youngsters don't wear shoes like that. They all wear, you know, running shoes nowadays, don't they? Look at you. You're so beautifully dressed. You should have your own show up here and show some fashions for those young girls. Look, pink dresses. It's wonderful. Got a guy from Hawaii here. Hey, aloha, dude. Yeah, see? Now, we do this every couple of months. And next time we do it, bring a couple of friends. Because we've got, 12 people in the audience tonight. We could have 30 people in. We could get them all in. We'd have a great show. It'd be even more. You know, I mean, I like it when you laugh, but, you know, if there was 30 people laughing, it'd be even better, wouldn't it? Yeah, Your mama is so ugly. She's so ugly. She used to pose for Picasso. I know.
You have 2 eyes on one side.
We don't need any details, sweetie. We got it. We got the message, didn't we, kids? My neighbour got a car for sale, a Toyota Echo. I said, dude, didn't you sell that 2 or 3 months ago? He said, yeah, I've sold it 3 times. It keeps coming back. They should have just called it the Toyota Oda. I love my wife. She's the best person in the world. My biggest supporter. She is my biggest supporter. Because I make her work 2 jobs. I don't really. These feminists look at me like, no, that's just a joke. She's wonderful. Yes. I have to watch my money. Buying stuff I never expected. This week I had a choice between a hearing aid or a big box of Viagra. Guess which I chose? What? So I fell over, right? You'll know this one, right? With the hip. I went up 3 times in a month. I go to the doctor. Says, "Oh, Mr. Daly." Funny old geezer. "Oh, Mr. Daly, why did you fall down?" I said, "Well, that's the only direction you can go when you fall." I think you know that, being a scientist. He goes, "Yeah, but the reason, did you trip?" I said, "No, not since Woodstock." He pokes me in the tummy with his stethoscope. He goes, "Look at this lot. You know you're overweight for your height." I said, "Come on, Doc, you don't know how high I am?" Nobody knows. No, I don't do drugs. No, I don't. I know I look like I'm stoned half the time, but I don't. I'm just carrying residue from the 80s. Good days though, weren't they, the 80s? When everybody had work. They got work again now. I know you don't like it, but it's working out for Trump. Everybody's working, making money again. It's amazing. It's like a catch-22 situation, isn't it? Everybody hates the president, but he's doing all right. I know some of you like to argue with it, but you can't now because we're on the telly. I don't like him any more than you do, but it's like, cut my tax bill, baby. Hey. Got some great comedians on the show tonight. Rising stars is what they are. And they came all the way down from way up north, Santa Rosa, long way away, yeah. And they're all here for you tonight to make you laugh and have a good time. I want you to give them a lovely warm welcome, San Rafael welcome, you know. Laugh. You can jump up and hug them if you want. They won't mind. Just be happy, right? This guy, his wife's on the show later. They got 9 kids, gypsies I think they are. Yeah, no, they got 9 kids. They just had their 9th baby about a week ago. The baby's out there in the crib. It's true. Did you see him? Yeah, he saw the baby, yeah. Give it up for this poor bastard because, you know, he's going to be broke for the next 40 years. Here he is, a wonderful comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Ferdinandson.
Thank you, Griffin. Thank you. Perfect. What's up, marINSANITY? How are we doing? I like a pun that references mental illness. I'm into that. I'm into that sort of thing. I work for a tree service during the day. I climb trees and deal with the brush on the ground. Very physical job, very dangerous job. I get hurt a lot on the job, but my dad's my boss. So most of the pain's on the inside. Some people think I only have this job because my dad's the boss, because my dad owns a company, but that's not true. My dad would have fired me a very long time ago. I have a cool job because of my mom. It's a life hack for you guys. If you let your boss bang your mom, you can say whatever you want at work. You can talk back all the time if your mom's blowing your boss. You can do that. The worst part about my parents' divorce was that they didn't get one. They got bunk beds though. Anybody else's parents in here get bunk beds growing up? Anybody else? No, just me. That's always just me. I like it though. I like having parents with bunk beds. They've switched back now. They've switched back to 2 beds side by side. It's nice to know your parents are banging again. It's nice to know that. It's nice to know that because there's a fine line between not wanting to hear your parents do it and also wanting them to be able to. A thin line of silence is what you need. You want them to be happy, but you don't want to be a part of it in any way, shape, or form. It's interesting, but I'm glad it's happening now. I remember being 12 years old, seeing the bunk beds, being like, oh man, I wish you guys were banging. That's a weird thought for a 12-year-old to have. A 12-year-old should not have that thought, but I did, I barely knew what it was. I just wish that they would just do it, I remember before I knew what sex was, looking at my babysitter and being like, whatever it is, I want to do that, whatever it is that this mysterious thing that I don't know what it is. I want to do that to you, teenage babysitter. That's what I want. My mom was a teacher at my high school, so we had the prime pick of babysitters. We really did. All the girls wanted to babysit for my mom. She's now principal of a school, and she doesn't want me to talk about it, especially on TV. So let's just say my mom's not the principal of Annalee High School. And that's right, Annalee High School. You guys know Annalee High School was on Netflix on the show 13 Reasons Why or something like that, or 14 Reasons Why. It was that a suicide show, which is weird because in my high school I thought it only made me want to kill myself, but it apparently made America want to kill itself too. It's kind of weird. It's weird how that worked. It's really cool, actually. I grew up with ADD. How many kids with ADD does it take to screw in a light bulb? I love In-N-Out, you guys. I love In-N-Out more than I love girls because the In-N-Out animal style tastes good. It tastes good. That's right. That's right. I started taking Ritalin at an early age. I did at like 12 years old. And then I started smoking weed when I was 16. And my parents were all freaking out about me smoking weed. I'm like, you put me on meth 4 years ago. All right. This is actually way more chill than the stuff you guys and the doctor gave me. It's way more chill. I remember not eating, not gaining weight. And I told the doctor, like, yo, I'm not eating a lot. And he's like, well, you're not losing weight, so you're fine. I'm like, I'm also 12 and not growing. So there's an issue there also. It's like, then I ended up with this 12-year-old body in a grown man's T-shirt. And now look at me. Now look where I'm at. It's not great. I try to get as big as I can. I try to pump some iron. I try to take some steroids, but it's just prednisone for poison oak, and it's not. It's not what they said it would be, dude. I get poison oak real bad at my tree job, as I would. Then they give me steroids, and every time I take them, I'm like, I got to hit the gym, dude. I got to start working out. You got to take advantage of this poison oak medicine, Get real ripped. But the prednisone gets me lightheaded. Let's talk more about medications. And poison oak, dude. Poison oak, anybody here have poison oak a lot? Anybody get that sometimes? It's the worst, man. It's the worst. My favorite thing with poison oak, though, and I'll actually do this, getting in the shower. Some people dread showers with poison oak because it irritates it. But, man, you get that stuff hot, and you get that pressure right. Oh, baby. There is nothing better than that feeling of turning up the heat and just having your skin just contract with the rash on it and just having that feeling. I will harvest a patch of poison oak and keep it there on my calf and make sure that one doesn't go away so I get a good endorphin rush every single time I take a shower because it's what I need, dude. I'm a scratching junkie, dude. I want that shower head down there. I want to turn up the heat, get it on there, and then I'm ready to start my day, all right? And then it goes away. I miss it. I'm like, oh, man, I wish I could just get that good itch in there, man. I wish I could just turn up the heat on that poison oak. This is not a bit that I usually do, but we're working it out. We're working it out. I'm a new dad, so that's exciting. That's right. You guys saw the baby out there, new dad. I'm doing a lot of dad things now. I feel like I bring a dad vibe to the room now. I feel like I bring a dad vibe to the stage. I bought a weed whacker recently. That's right. Went to Home Depot, bought myself a weed whacker. I went with my stepson, my 3-year-old stepson, who looks like me, so people assume, father and son. The checker at Home Depot was like, hey, you're going to go help your dad today? And I watched 3-year-old Magnus go, like, in his head, be like, oh, it's not worth it. Yeah, I'm going to go help my dad. It's so interesting to see a little kid being like, I don't need to explain to this chick that this isn't my dad. And I'm like, I'm so glad that we felt the common agreement to not describe that. But the most dad thing I did at Home Depot wasn't buying the weed whacker. It was buying a rake on my way out because I thought I might need it later. Chris a year ago might have went and bought a weed whacker, but Dad Chris buys a rake on the way out because what's going to happen after I whack these weeds? They're going to be laying there, bro. They're going to be laying there waiting for somebody to rake them up. And then, Papa Ferdinand is going to come and rake them up, put them in a pile, put them in the green waste, put it by the street. My job's done. I'm a good dad. That's what good dads do, right? You weed whack some stuff, you rake it up. It's not as hard as they all say, It's more of a continuous thing because, my baby's, a week old? A little more than a week old? I got to say, this dad thing, not that hard. Not as hard as everybody who makes it out to be. I'm like, oh, yeah? I think I got this stuff pretty easy. I mean, sleeping's a little tough, but that's it. I don't need sleep. I went plenty of nights without sleep before I had a kid. I mean, that was because of other things, but who cares? I work for a tree service. I cut down a tree recently. People who watch me cut down trees think that I love it because I'm so fucking good at it. They really think that I love cutting down trees, but I really hate it. I love trees so much, and I've dedicated my life to working with trees. People think that, like, oh, you just look around these trees, you just see dollar signs you want to cut down. I'm like, no, dude, I would know. I do look at trees for a long time and fantasize, like, man, I want to take in those long ends. Oh, hell yeah. Lighten up that heavy limb a little bit. Give it some room to breathe. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's prune that tree out a little bit. Let's keep the canopy. Keep the bark shaded. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know how people I fuck people? I prune trees constantly. And I can't, like, I'll see an oak tree from a distance, and I'll be like, I know what I'd do to you first. Oak tree, I know what I'd do to you first. Get up in you, get a good high tie-in, whisper in your ear, it's all right, Daddy's got you today. Daddy's gonna take care of you, all your individualized spots. I love doing tree work down here in San Rafael. I do a lot of good view pruning. I have this property I take care of that you can see all the bridges in the Bay Area up in the hills right over here. It's fucking beautiful. And I prune out this oak tree so thinly, so nice. They wanted to cut this tree down. They were like, cut it down, we need to see the view. And I was like, hold on. You don't know what I can do. Let me prune this baby out so you can see through it. And they were so happy that I did it. And there's no joke there. I'm just proud of myself. Thank you. Oh boy. Is this stand-up comedy or is this Chris just talking to you guys at this point? I don't know. I talked about my poison oak, talked a lot about tree work already. Let's move it on. I got 2 younger brothers. I got 2 twin brothers. They're twins. They're 3 years younger than me, and they're fraternal twins. And it was crazy because growing up, they were always like star athletes, 4.0 students, like the best. Like they saw me struggling so hard and getting fed Ritalin every morning and being like, learn. Why aren't you learning? And they're like, dude, I'm gonna just do my homework. I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to go to practice, and everything's going to be chill. I'm seeing what's happening up there. It doesn't look super fun. And they killed it this whole time. One of my brother works for the state. He just bought a new car. He's 20 years old. He just bought a new car. He lives with his fiance. They're happy. They're getting married. It's great. My other brother is on tour with a band. He plays drums. He's super happy. I'm still paying off my DUI. It's not the way it was supposed to be, you know. I was the oldest one, you know. I was supposed to be like an example, and I feel like I kind of was in certain ways, but also an example of like, hey man, let's get an Uber. Let's chill, which is the smart way to go. At the time, I couldn't call an Uber because I actually had a flip phone for a while. That's right. I reversed back. I had an iPhone when they came out. I got an iPhone just like everybody else. And then I eventually was like, I'm wasting a lot of time on this. I made a mature decision to be like, you know what? Give me a flip phone. And I had a flip phone for a full year until I made an immature decision to drive under the influence because I could not call an Uber. I'm not saying that that's why. There was a lot of reasons why. Not necessarily just because I had the flip phone. But now that I have an iPhone, it's so easy. So this is a commercial for Uber. If you do have something, if you drink some of that wine out there, I see some of you with the little cups. You get too many of those little cups, you know, you're gonna get yourself a San Rafael County DUI is what you're gonna get. You know, a little white wine wasted on the way home in your Tesla. You know, they're gonna get you. They're gonna make you walk the line. You're swerving a little bit more than you're supposed to. I'm from Sonoma County, so I get it, dude. I see people with that Napa Speedball, an e-cig, and a glass of wine. That's what I call a Napa Speedball. I've seen it so much. Thank you guys very much. I had a good time. Thank you for the time. I keep it going for Griff and the rest of the show.
Thanks, Chris. Chris Ferdinandson. More clappies, more claps. Love him, don't you? Yeah. Isn't it refreshing to have some young people on the show? Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yeah. We've got another monkey. Oh, he's not as young as him, but he's still good. This guy's a giant. He produces shows all around Santa Rosa and stuff. You should look him up on Facebook and you'll see where all the shows are. Anytime you're up in Santa Rosa, look up this guy. Give it up big time for my buddy Cody Smith. Louder.
Come on, put your hands together. Let's pretend like we know who I am. Right? To think the audacity of my parents to say that I would never make it in entertainment. Marin Public Access? Look at me now, Dad. Look at me now. Suck it, Jerry Seinfeld. I just hope that they're up at 3 a.m. to watch this. You know what I mean? Guys, it's been a crazy couple of months for me. I just turned 31 years old. I don't know if 31 really warrants applause, but thank you. Here's 31 in a nutshell right here. You know what? I will take a look at that wine list. That's all 31 is. Another thing that just happened to me, though, I just proposed to my girlfriend of 7 years. Again, you guys might want to let me finish. I was going to let you know she said no. Yeah, she's gone. She's out of my life. There's no punchline to any of this. I'm simply trying to win your affection over in the event that this doesn't go well. Yeah, she's gone. She's out of my life. She took everything. She took the IUD. I kept the DUI. It was a really screwed up situation. But life goes on, I suppose. You know what, though? The joke is on her because I got some big news today that I'm going to share with you guys. I actually just signed on to Netflix for a special. Thank you. Thank you, yes. She forgot to change the password. I caught that new Wanda Sykes for free. Huh? Yeah, no, I'm a little terrified to be single at 31, I'll admit it. I've been out of the dating game a long time. Like back when I was dating, we didn't have the luxury of meeting women by just wiping Cheeto dust free from our fingertips and swiping our phone screens left to right. Like we actually had to go out and meet them at like public access tapings where women would take pity on me and sleep with me after the show. That's what we had to do, folks. I'll be honest with you, though. I've been giving these dating apps a try. You guys familiar with some of these dating apps? Unfortunately, I keep getting catfished. Have you guys heard of catfishing here? No? For those that are unfamiliar, catfishing is the act of taking a profile picture that's not actually you and posting it on your profile and pretending to be somebody you're not. It's crazy, right? But there's more than just catfishing that occurs. Like, they don't talk about time capsuling very often. Do you guys know what that is? No? Time capsuling, ma'am, is when you upload a photo of yourself from 2007. Yes. It's typically taken right off of your MySpace page. And it's devoid of any cellulite and crow's feet. There's Where's Waldoing. Have we heard of this? No? Where's Waldoing is when a girl only takes group photographs. So you have to choose the one you think it is, roll the dice, and hope that you don't get the one with the cleft palate and lazy eye. Yeah, there's iceberging. You guys heard of that? No? Well, iceberging is when only 10% of their overall mass is showing in a photograph. Yeah. And then there's this flat-out prairie dogging. That's when they have a penis. There's no punchline to that one either. Another thing that is prevalent in the dating app scene is sending each other pictures of your penis. It's vulgar, I know, isn't it? Can you believe that? Yeah, this is a thing. I'm trying to tell you. It's gross, ma'am. But what happens is these people, they send these photographs, but what they do is they get an object to put it next to their penis to give like a side-by-side comparison as a field of reference. Yes, it's crazy, I know. They use a wide variety of objects, water bottles, TV remotes, tubes of toothpaste. But me personally, you know what I like to use? I like to use produce, fruits and vegetables. Yeah, baby corn, baby carrots, sweet pickles. These have all been effective for me, but you can use whatever you want, Marin. I'll be honest, it's increasingly difficult to date as a redhead. Like, ladies, who here in attendance is attracted to redheaded males?
Sure.
Yeah? Ed Sheeran fans, right on. Good deal. Here's the thing. It's very difficult to be a redhead living in a blonde, brunette, and black-haired man society, okay? It's very hard to be a person of no color. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Marin. What do I mean by some of these hardships, struggles, and injustices? Well, allow me to give you an example. Just the other day, one of you high melanin having-ass devils handed me a bottle of SPF 10? SPF 10 sunblock? I took one look at him and one look at the bottle and just said, "Where are you taking me? The movies? Is this thing missing a zero?" Lots of things I can't do as a redhead. Like, I can't walk my dog before 6 p.m., okay? I can't own a convertible. I can't tan. Oh, heavens no. I think the closest thing to a tanning booth would be probably standing naked in front of an open refrigerator. You know, just kind of open it up and bask in the incandescent glow. of the 16-watt light bulb every morning. You know, maybe if I do it long enough in hopes in like 17 years, all of my freckles will blend together to make like one big, creepy, grotesque freckle that covers my entire body. I don't know. A boy can dream, you know? The hardest part about being a redhead has to be the pubic hair, though. It does. Have you ever seen a tuft of red pubic hair, folks? Yes. Yes, you have. Oh. Well, for the rest of you who don't know what it looks like a saffron garnish. Okay? Yeah, you can go into any restroom in the world and you will find a black short and curly of some kind, okay? You will never find a red one, folks. We clean that up like a murder scene, okay? We are leaving no traces of any ginger sprouts to be found. People will know who the culprit is. In order to raise awareness about the plight of the redhead, I'm thinking about organizing an event. I think you might, you know, if you have any redheads in your family, I encourage them to attend. I'm going to start the Million Man March for redheads. We only make up 2% of the world's population, so it's going to be the 200,000 man march. And if it's anything above partly cloudy that day, we're going to do it indoors. It's basically going to be one big organized mall walk. We're not storming the lawns of the White House, baby. We are linking arms with geriatrics and tearing down the foundations of every last Wetzel's Pretzels and Spencer's Gift Shop until we get what we're looking for. More awnings. Okay? Sunscreen dispensers in every state park. And we certainly won't stop until they get rid of that Wendy's mascot. Have you seen that? That's modern day blackface, Marin. There's many epithets you can call us as redheads. Okay? You can call us gingers, that's the obvious one. Copper tops. Fire crotches. Used Q-tips. Or as my parents used to call me, adopted. I mean, the list goes on and on. Hey, Marin, give a big round of applause for yourselves for being such a terrific audience. My God. You've got a really great show ahead of you. Keep it going for your host, Griffin Daly. Thank you so much. I'm out.
Cody Smith, give it up for Cody. Woo! Yeah. Oh, he made you laugh. That's the idea, ain't it? Hey, I just walked down the street. There's this restaurant, Il David. I thought, well, I'm not going in there if he's ill. Hey, well, a healthy place, don't you? Hey, here. Here's the other half of that marriage with the baby just been born. She's only a week old. She said, go and check the baby. Put money in the crib as you walk out. Put money in the crib because they got 9 kids. I mean, 9. Yeah. Her mum was a comedian in the 1980s, and she had 14 kids. I told you. No, it's true. See? So, comedy runs in the family and nymphomania. But no, it's all right. Listen, here she comes, a wonderful, wonderful girl. Give it up for Kayla Keller.
Thank you, Griffin. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I was pissing in the bathroom and I looked around at the face of Julia Child. I never thought I could pee and look at such a distinguished woman. I was very excited. This is great. I was just told that this is going to air at 12 o'clock at night. So I'm excited to be in the midst of, people with just raging boners, confused and flipping through the channels. It's going to be great. Like you can buy a small dildo or watch this for 15 minutes, and I think that's good odds. I think I can keep the attention of someone with half a heart on, is what I'm trying to say. I'm excited just to be out of the house. I just had a baby like 7 days ago. I know. You don't have to applaud it though. Like the uterus is like a Ron Popeil rotisserie oven. You just set that shit and forget it. And like 9 months later, a human person pops out. It's not that complicated, Like I have 4 kids, so at this point I can just put her on the pile. Like, I'm from Sonoma County, and like every night I just lay her out under the light of a full moon, and if the coyotes don't get her, I bring her in the morning and I call it good, We free range a lot up there is what I'm trying to say. It's very loose. Like, I'm 28 now, and it's always concerning to people when I tell them that I have 4 kids, Because if I said to somebody at this age, like, hey, it's Tuesday night, I'm going to go down to a warehouse party and I'm going to snort coke off a stripper, they'd be like, yeah, it sounds reasonable. That's a reasonable thing to do. If I say I have 4 kids, they're like, you need to get your priorities straight. This is not looking good, Like, Utah is wide open. There's a whole state for people like you that hate condoms and money. You can just head on down there. But I feel like anyone watching right now at this hour either has no children or just has kids that hate them. So it's fine. Like, I want to know what the demographics are at 12 o'clock, like public access TV, Because like I was raised in Marin. Like, I grew up watching public access TV, and this should be like a dream of mine. But now I'm mostly just interested to see like who here is going to be viewing this. Like I feel like it's a lot of people that are going to leave most of their money to their cats and PBS maybe. I'm not sure. Like one guy that like doesn't get out of the house enough. Like, I'm thinking it's probably someone that like every night could microwave a lean cuisine or like crochet a noose. And it's like 50-50, but their cats will be eating, Like, do you guys ever meet somebody out on the street and you talk to them for a few minutes and you're like, there's no way that you're a real person. Like, there's no way you do whatever this thing is like 24 hours a day. Like, you're an NPC at best. Like, if you guys know what that means, it's a non-playable character. I assume, for anyone that doesn't see the demographic of this crowd, no one has ever played a video game. I think that maybe they remember Atari here, vaguely. At some point, they might have, sat down and played Gem Muncher or something on their phone for like 48 minutes and went like, phooey, and wandered off. I don't know. Maybe I feel like though maybe I'm wrong. I think can we get a round of applause if I'm completely inaccurate on what people are doing here? What brought you guys here? Me specifically? That would be awkward. Like if you were stalking me on Facebook all day and night and you're like, we are going to see that confusing girl that we've never met before. That would be honestly great. I think that would be a good use of everyone's time if you can go home and Facebook stalk me. You can add to my likes. My grandma will talk to you online. It'll be perfect. You can make a pen pal in West Virginia. Everything will be good. Yeah, I like I said, I have 4 kids, and it's weird being a mom. Because for me, we just saw the headlines, right? The world's only going to make it till 2050. That's the new projection. That's fucked up. That's not ideal when you have kids, So, I don't know whether or not to teach them fractions or, how to kill a man with their bare hands. I don't know what's going to be more applicable in these trying times. With this president, who knows? They might have to eat an eyeball, is what I'm trying to say. And that's okay with me, That's okay. Yeah, that we are farming tilapia in the backyard. We've got a solid bunker. People are like, you must have a lot of hope for the future. I'm like, no, I just don't want to be alone down there in that concrete warehouse playing Scrabble by my goddamn self. I want to have more people to triple word score in the apocalypse. It's very important to me, But I grew up around here, and it's weird because I grew up on a houseboat in Sausalito. And I know, is right. Yeah, that it was a confusing time for my dad because he's the kind of guy that wanted to protect me from the government, so he didn't get me a social security number. I know, it was very prudent thinking at the time, way ahead of his generation. And then when I became 16, I got myself a social security number, and he stole it, and he bought a boat in my name. He was a very interesting fellow. I had nowhere to rebel. That's why I have 4 kids right now, and a very good credit score. Because that was the only way I could fight the power. I buy Costco socks in bulk all the time just to fuck with my dad. I have a very nice mortgage because he would hate that. That's what you do. Yeah, Griffin mentioned my mom did comedy in the 80s. She very briefly did comedy, but that's what a good codependent daughter tells people. Anytime people ask me how my life is going, I give them tidbits about my mom. That's what happens when you're an only child. You just want to give them updates on your mother. Right now, my mom is at home watching my kids because I've tricked her into being an indentured servant. I just give her weed tincture at night. And she can't get out of the house. That's not true. I tell her about it before I give it to her. But I have 2 daughters, which is weird. Right now, I'm looking around at all these lovely ladies here, and I don't know what to do because I don't talk to women often. I have 0 female friends. I don't know if you guys can tell that from the way I'm dressed, like Ellen Page in Juno. But I don't have a single woman to be don't leave Ross dressed for less like that. don't do that anymore. Like, I get very intimidated when I meet women of any age, you know, because, like, I don't know how to commune with ladies. Like, every time I try to talk to a woman and make a friendship, it's like, have you ever been to a dog park? And, like, you see a large husky, like, confidently striding across the dog park, and then you see, like, an overly confident chihuahua walking towards them, and then all of a sudden the chihuahua's on the ground with its dick out? I'm the chihuahua every time. That is me every single time I try to make friends with a lady, you know? Like, I just don't know how to do it. I'm incapable of it. And so it's weird to have 2 daughters because I try to give them, like, everything I can, and I got nothing. Like, all I know is that I'm supposed to eat, like, 1 egg white for breakfast and be satisfied as a woman, and that's all I can impart to them, you know? Like, do you guys ever do that maneuver? Do you lie to yourself about your dietary goals? Come on. I feel like it's happened once or twice. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you wake up and you're like, ooh, 1 egg white, that's all I needed, I'm satisfied. And then by like 4 in the afternoon, you're just eating gummy bears out of your own pocket. Just whispering to yourself, that'll do, pig. That'll do. I'm good. It's weird. And then, like, sometimes you'll really try and hit your stride, and then by like 3 in the morning, you're just eating cold tortellini out of the fridge like Nigella fucking Lawson on Food Network. Have you guys ever done that maneuver? Do you remember Nigella Lawson in 1997? Yes. If you're at public access TV, you should remember Nigella Lawson. That is that there's a target demographic happening, and this is a clear Venn diagram of you should remember that. And if you don't, men, you can go home and Google it and tell your wives it's not porn, but it is, because it's just a big-titted British woman in the fridge eating cold tortellini on television in 1997, which was the most subversive thing you could do on TV at that time, watch a woman eating. That's a little-known fact. Was a good time for everybody. But I have 1 son in the midst of all these daughters. I have 3 daughters and 1 son, you know? And it's a weird situation because I made this kid with my body, you know? Like, he came out of me. He's a beautiful human being. And I think that every woman should cut their partner some slack because this little boy just came out of me that fucking terrible. Men are just born that way. All men are born awful. Nothing happens to them. He loves his tiny baby dick so much is what I'm trying to say. This little boy, he's 3, he's adorable. He has no idea what it's even for. He doesn't know it's the keys to the castle. He grabs that thing every time his diaper comes off, like it might have gotten blown off in a demilitarized zone, unbeknownst to him. You know, he has to check and make sure it's there every single time. He just grabs it and he's so excited. Like, he was running around the yard. Like I said, we're from Sonoma County. You know, we have chickens, obviously, a lot of kale in the fridge. And this kid was running around like an irresponsible little asshole. And he had no diaper on in the yard. And I was like, you need to put a diaper on, buddy. And he was ignoring me. And I was like, listen, that thing is it's appetizing to poultry. You know, it looks like a tasty snack is what I'm trying to say, son. And he was ignoring me. And I was like, buddy, listen to me. That's what happened to your sister. They pecked her dick off. That's how we got her, so you should, you know. And the look on his face, it was good, because, like, you're going to traumatize your kids at some point. I want to know specifically when it happened so I can look back and use it for my own purposes, just like Chicken Dick 2019, motherfucker. It's right here. I have it on you now, you know. And, like, that's the thing. He's curious. He's a very precocious little buddy, and he hopped in the shower with me recently. It was awkward for both of us. And I was just standing there shaving my leg, and he was like, hey, Mom. And I was like, hi, son. And he's like, what are you doing? And I was trying to explain the leg shaving, which in a clutch situation I didn't anticipate having to do. And I was like, well, trying to keep it feminist. I didn't want to say, like, I don't know, some older dude than you told me to do this. So I was like, well, I don't like the stubble on my leg. And he's like, oh, I understand, Mom. You don't like the hair down there. Well, if you don't like the hair on your leg, you should probably take care of this whole area, Mom. And I was like, you're the patriarchy, and you're low-key oppressing me at all times. Even at this age, I can tell. But it was warranted because I was 9 months pregnant at the time and I had no idea what was going on down there. I hadn't seen it in months. You know, there could have been a Dungeons and Dragons group meeting on my puss every Tuesday and Thursday, and I would have had no idea except for the heavy breathing and the sound of dice clattering around. I would have had no clue, you know. Like I said, I have a good amount of hope for the future, but I'm not, like, holding out a bunch of it, you know? Like, I think for the most part, I have a pretty level head about it, but sometimes, you know, I think about trivial things like my body image, you know? You try to be conscious and leave a small carbon footprint, but sometimes, like, you just want your tits to be less saggy. You know what I mean, ladies? It sneaks in there. And, like, this is the thing when you've had 3 kids, like, I might look okay, but, like, have you ever left a candy bar on your dashboard, like, in the hot sun for a few days, and then, like, you forget about the candy bar, and you go back to it days later, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna have a nice snack, and you go to unwrap the candy bar, and you're like, what the fuck happened to this candy bar? That's all like your body after you have 3 kids. You just keep the wrapper on, and you cut a hole in the pants, and you keep the dream alive, you know? Like, There's a lot of inspirational shit on Facebook that we see every day, ladies trying to like keep us positive. Yeah. And I love those ones that are like, girl, you have earned every stretch mark. You are like a wild and fierce tiger in the jungle. And I'm like, a tiger like at the Oakland Zoo, maybe? Just like a sad animal in an enclosure. And kids are like, what happened to that tiger? And they're like, don't make eye contact with the tiger. She's very fierce at feeding time. That's when she comes alive, you know? Like, I don't have a lot of positivity. Like, I don't know if you know this, but when you have a baby, like, your boobs get so nice, you know? And your partner's so excited. And you're like, don't get excited. These are on loan. We are renting these. You know, don't dent them. We have to return them to the dealership. It's not okay. And then, like, the stock goes up. And then, like, the Great Depression, it plummets down to the ground, you know? It's not good. The titty stock just plummets straight to the floor. And you're sitting there looking at yourself. And, like, I've never been a vain woman, but I'll admit, I've contemplated getting breast implants from time to time. And like I looked into it, and you have to re-up those things every 10 years. Did you know that? Every 10 years, it's a titty pyramid scheme. It's complete BS, you know? And like, I don't know if there's gonna be a world in 10 years, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't wanna be wandering around the apocalypse with messed up boobs. Just one implant slowly slipping towards my navel. You know, just trying to hunt and gather and keep my family alive. Like, I don't think Tina Turner ran the Thunderdome with one messed up implant, is what I'm trying to say. It's hard to run an apocalypse scenario like that. But I think on a positive note, we could do ourselves a favor and we could end this whole Me Too movement if we've only got a few years left on this planet, you know? Because I don't, frankly, want to confuse extraterrestrials that find the burned wreckage of our civilization later. Like, well, humans were fairly shit for millennia, but they really pulled it together that last decade with the whole Me Too thing before they burned out into a fiery glory. You know, and I think honestly, if I'm thinking about it, I'm a little pissed off because I feel like as women, we really missed our chance. I don't want to raise everything up to a higher level. I want to lower it down. I want to lower it down evenly because, quite frankly, I think I could abuse an intern, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I think I could really dig into just some sad dude named Trevor. You know, just kicking him under the desk with one foot, like, keep licking, buddy. We've got a long night of emailing ahead of us, Trevor. You got to keep it together. No, nobody here could do it. Okay. I like how all the ladies were like, we had you. We were on board until you said you'd abuse an intern, and that is simply not okay. I don't believe that. I think that if you guys had the chance to have a sad dude named Trevor licking your pussy, you would probably be on top of it. You can wink one time. I feel like everyone's name is Barbara. All the Barbaras, wink one time if you want your pussy licked. I'm so sorry to anyone whose grandmothers these are. Grandmothers and mothers and wonderful women who have built our country not getting their pussies licked, apparently. But I think this is the real question I have. Are people sitting on faces in Marin? Is that happening? This is the. I'm talking to you, cable access. Are you guys sitting on faces out there, one sad man that's watching this at this hour? Because this is the thing. I don't think that face sitting is a real phenomenon happening out there. I don't believe it for 1 second. Because I don't think any woman has ever wanted to get her pussy licked enough to be like tired and disappointed. Like, it sounds like something you do in the Presidential Physical Fitness Challenge. Like, run a mile, do one push-up, sit on a face for like 45 seconds. Like, if you want your woman to get in shape, men, what I'm going to tell you right now is learn to eat pussy better, because then she'll be able to work her core while hovering over your face. All right, marINSANITY, that's been my time. Give it up for your host, Griffin Daly.
Kayla, beautiful stuff. Thanks, Kayla. Don't you love her? Yeah. Yes, you do. She's wonderful. We'll have her back sometime. Her and Chris. They've only got 4 kids, really. I was messing with you earlier. They're nice people. They're good. Not gypsies or anything. They're great. Listen, you're a headliner tonight. This guy's crazy. The way he approaches comedy, it's like a spoken word commentary on all the like memoirs of his most embarrassing moments of his life. You know, traumas. Really, those traumas. The kind of things that only stand-up comedy or therapy sessions can deal with. So you're all going to be his psychiatrists tonight. Get ready for the fantastic Steve Osborne.
Keep it going for Griffin Daly, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. And all the comics you've seen tonight. Chris and Cody and Kayla. And fun fact, since it's a family affair, I am Chris and Kayla's eldest child. I just wanted to say that it is great to be here. It's a little awkward to hear your mom be so honest in front of all these strangers, but I get it. It's fine. I'm here. So, hey, you guys are having a good time? Give yourselves a round of applause. You at home, give yourselves a round of applause because you can't sleep, and here we are. This is cool. Yeah, as you know, we're all traveling from great old Sonoma County, wine country. I'm sure you guys have had a chance to get out there. If you haven't, highly recommend you do. It's a great place to just go and escape diversity for a little while. It's everything just slows down to the speed of white privilege. It's just great. It's like a home game for me every day. I love it. But yes, I'm a little nervous living in Sonoma County right now. We got one of those Nixle red flag warnings because of all the wind and the heat, and we get all nervous. And once again, we got another fire up north, and I learn, I get these flashbacks because I was actually living in the fire area, and I had to be evacuated a couple years ago, and I learned a lot about myself. And one thing I learned is I don't evacuate well. Apparently, my family real good. Apparently, like my daughter, she was great. She'd just get up, she'd get like all the dog food ready, in case we had to be gone for a while. My son's getting like all of our medications, putting them into a suitcase. My wife's getting all of our clothes, and I'm just standing in front of all of our DVDs trying to figure out which ones are streaming, so I don't have to take them. So it's just this. Well, Weekend at Bernie's 2 is on Stars, but this is the director's cut. You're coming with me. No, what I'm saying is I'm not Santa Rosa strong. I'm Sebastopol soft. It's a whole different thing. But anyway, yeah, so this has been kind of a tense time for me, but it is great to be here in San Rafael. I'm assuming you guys are all from San Rafael. I can't imagine you traveled for this show, but we're glad you're here all the same. So, some of you have been enjoying some of that tasty Sauv Blanc that has been out there. That was one of the perks and reason why I signed up. A little bit of honeydew melon out there and some Sauv Blanc. They treat us right. But for those of you that are having some drinks, just consider this like a little bit of a PSA portion of the evening. I was driving through the old 101, and you see all those digital road signs that tell you all the important things like, click it or ticket, slow for the cone zone, don't shake your baby, like all the things you're supposed to know when you're driving along. And the one I saw here was appropriate since we're having some tasty beverages. It says, buzzed driving is drunk driving. So keep that in mind, that there's an equivalency that the police see. So if you're feeling a little tipsy on your way to the car, just come on back into marINSANITY and just pound some more wine, because you're going to get in trouble the same, right? I mean, come on, right? Don't be in jail because you had a little too much of this white wine. Now you're shard to handle. No, get weird. Get after it. Make it count. There's a new sign out. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It says, be alert. Pedestrians don't wear armor. Yeah, it's a little wordy. I had to slow down to 75 miles an hour to read the whole thing, and it bummed me out. I'm like, when did Caltrans start hiring guys with creative writing degrees to do their signs? Which was actually really good news for me because I have a creative writing degree, which would explain what I'm doing here on a Monday. But still, no, but so I can't wait for the day that I publish my very first digital road sign. And it's going to say, don't blow it, roadhead doesn't count as hands-free. And I think it's highly valuable. Safety first, everybody, safety first. Yes, we're having a good time. You guys are fun. We're all coming to my place for an after party. I like it. I like what you guys got going on here. This is cool. So married folks, just a little round of applause. I got some married people here in the house. Anybody? Yeah, got a couple. All right. I'm married myself. I've been married for 23 years. Yeah, so that's fine. Yeah, it's like surrender, yay. No, I've been married for 23 years. So in addition to that, I have a 23-year-old son. So you can do the math if you're interested on that. 23-year-old son, 18-year-old daughter, and a 17-year-old vasectomy, but I love all three the same. All right, no favorites there. I'm joking, of course. The vasectomy is my favorite, but only because of the three, it was the only one that was planned. Hey, we're having fun. This is fun. You guys are good. I'm excited. We actually went and saw the Warriors game right before we came in here, and I was a little naughty. I had a little bit of a beer. I'm not currently drinking beer right now. I'm trying to be good. I'm on what they call the keto diet. Anybody familiar with the keto diet? For those of you who don't know what it is, what you do is you replace all the carbohydrates that you would normally eat with telling everybody that you're on the keto diet. Like that's apparently bothering people, burns a lot of calories, and I'm crushing it right now. Yeah, but you find out, especially as a comic, like how social food and drink is, like how much of our life is like, hey, you want to meet for a beer, you want to meet for a sandwich, you want to have a coffee, whatever it is. It's like we just can't be social without something in our mouths. Like it's just it was weird when I said it like that, but that's not what I meant. But like the bottom line is that we have these things. We don't want to just be. We want to do at the same time, right? So like as a comic, you do a lot of shows at like breweries, because that's how we get paid, is in booze. Like that's because that's our degenerate lifestyle. We chose it, or did it chose us? I don't know. Well, the bottom line is that like I find out when I'm not drinking beer and I'm at these brewery shows that it's hard to socialize in the same way, right? Like I'll be with a comic and you know, one will be like, oh man, what are you having? Oh, well, I'm having it's a hazy New England style IPA. It's a little fruit forward, a little bitter at the end, but I like it. It's quite refreshing. Surprisingly so. How about you? What are you having? Oh, thanks for asking. This is a whiskey barrel aged stout. Has some smoky qualities, a little vanilla on the back end, really nice, a little rich, probably a great dessert beer. Steve, what do you have? Oh, I've got a grapefruit LaCroix, and it is both refreshing and disgusting. Thank you for asking. But that's what you find out. Like you realize, like now I understand why people have mocktails or near beers, you know, because you want to be able to fit in and not have to answer a bunch of odd questions. You want to just fit right in. And one of my new favorite substitutions that you see is the Impossible Burger for like vegetarians and vegans. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but it's a plant-based patty, you know, and it really looks like beef. Like you can go to a barbecue and put it on the grill and it'll sizzle like beef, even almost smells like it a little bit. That way you can like go to a place and be better than everybody, but they don't have to know it right away. You know, you can spring it on them later. But the best part about it is it gives off this like plant-based red residue to give off the illusion of bleeding. I don't know who this is for. Right? I mean, I'm assuming that there are vegetarians out there that are like, meat is murder, but oh, I miss the blood. Like, I don't know how you balance that, but whatever, you know, to each their own. But I get it, right? You want to do things that other people are doing, and you might not do it the same way. Like, I got friends that do cocaine. I don't do cocaine, but I'll do a key bump of Sweet and Low with you in the bathroom just to fit in, you know? It's all about trying to blend, really. But as I mentioned, I have adult children. Anybody else have adult children here? You got a couple of hands. Yeah, so I was so excited when my son turned 18 because like our relationship dynamic was going to change, right? I wasn't going to just be the taskmaster telling him what to do, you know? We could relate to each other, you know, man to man, you know, like adult to adult. You're shaking your head like maybe that was a lofty goal. What I'm saying is, though, as soon as he turned 18, I could just punch him right in his face, right? And it's not even child abuse anymore. It's just two grown men going to fisticuffs, and I had 18 years of scores to settle, so it worked out really good. But he was precious, right? He's 18, he's like, I'm 18, I can do everything an adult can do, everything an adult can do. I mean, except get a job. I get it, we're taking baby steps. But like, he was like, I gotta get a tattoo. I gotta get a tattoo of who I am right now because I'm never gonna wanna forget this moment. I'm like, yeah, you're probably gonna wanna forget this moment. I'm in it right now. Wish I wasn't, wish I could forget it. You're not gonna wanna commemorate it. He's like, no, I gotta get a tattoo. I'm like, fine, it's fine. I don't have a tattoo myself, not that I'm opposed to it. It's just that I get buyer's remorse before I buy something. Like, I can't commit, right? I won't even get a bumper sticker. That's just too much. Like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about random acts of kindness in 7 years. That's a huge commitment to me, right? Like, coexist? Yeah, that seems like a great idea, but maybe I'm more racist than I give myself credit for, right? Like, I mean, I got to pace myself. But anyway, my son and I, we worked it out, and now he has the word impulsive on his forehead, and it's just adorable. It is precious. But like, so the thing is about teenage boys is, and if maybe you don't have teenage boys, maybe you just come in contact with teenage boys, which also sounds weird when you say it out loud in front of a bunch of strangers, you know, just in case Kevin Spacey's in the audience. But the thing is teenage boys just they stink. They give off a funk, right? Like, I mean, my son, every time he would open the door to his bedroom, like the whole house would fill. Yeah, you know what it's like. It was all of a sudden like, why is it so humid in here? Like, how does that happen? Like, it just gives off just like the aromas like sour fruit, you know, and jizz, and you're like, man, and you hope it's his, right? You don't know. I don't know, maybe he's a collector. He's like, he loves that CSI. I don't know, but yeah, but when he's 18, you can't be like, hey, you know, clean your room or no more Minecraft. Burp, burp, burp. No, you have to treat him differently, like a roommate / tenant / squatter at this point, really. And so you have to be like, hey, man, it'd be real cool if you clean that room, bruh. He's like, yeah, I'll get to it. I'm like, nah, I'd just be super righteous if you would stop lowering our property value for a little while. We just got a letter from the HOA. Come on, man. And he's like, no, I'll get to it. And he takes off. And my wife's like, you know, that's his room, but this is our house. I was like, yeah, so that means his room is our room. I'm like, okay. So we can stand up to him. I said, what'd you have in mind? She says, we can clean it for him. Not where I thought we were going. So anyway, again, this is like, he's like 18, right? We're going into his room and we're pulling out trash bag after trash bag of some of the most insane stuff we've ever seen. In this process, we find 2 empty bottles of watermelon flavored vodka and 1 empty bottle of raspberry flavored vodka. Yeah, that is a hell of a way to find out your son is gay. You're like, you talk to me. I'm progressive, I voted for her. But now he's on a journey, right? He's 23 and he's just going through life's journey. And to give you a sense of where he's at on this journey, he came home wearing a tie-dye Sublime t-shirt with a little hemp necklace with a little mushroom charm hanging off the necklace and two little Grateful Dead bear charms parenthetically around said mushroom charm. And as a father, you have one thought, and that is, God, I hope he's on drugs. She's nodding knowingly, because otherwise that is a bad look, right? You know, and so like I took him aside, you know, like feign interest into his life a little bit, and I was it's like, hey, are you making good choices? And, what are you talking about? I said, are you with people you can trust? He said, I don't get it. So I'm just looking at the ensemble and wondering if maybe it's a window into some other choices you're making. Are you suggesting I'm on drugs? Oh my God, Dad, you know I never would. And then he storms off to a stinky room. And now I'm stuck in the situation where either my son is experimenting with drugs and lying to me, or worse, he's a poser. And I raised my son better than that. So tonight I'm going to sneak into his room and drop a Molly into his Mountain Dew and get him straight, is what I'm saying. Have some integrity, son. Smoke that hash. Molly is a drug for some of you older crowd. For, you know, it used to be called ecstasy, and now it's called Molly because we're less formal. But oh, good, we're having some. And my daughter, she's a different situation, right? So she's 18 now, or 19 now. Oh my gosh, I guess she'll be 19 soon. You don't need to know all these details. We're not that close. The bottom line is, she's an adult, but it seems like just yesterday, I was the cool, hip dad dropping her off at middle school. You know, all of her friends gather around. Oh my God, is that your older brother? He's so cute. Like, I have no idea that's what they said, right? But I know there was a lot of pointing and giggling, and I'm just going to fill in the blanks with my preferred narrative. Thank you very much. But yeah, so like fast forward, I'm taking her to her freshman orientation. There we are, we're in this gymnasium, and you know, I'm walking around with her, and there's not a lot of parents, right? Just a lot of cage-free children just roaming around, and I realized that like maybe I should be a little more sensitive to my daughter's new station in life, right? So I take her aside, and I said, hey, should I go wait in the car? Would that be better? I mean, I don't want to screw things up. She's like, no, Dad, it's totally cool that you're here. And I was like, oh. Totally cool. I like that. So, but just so you know, I've been introducing you as my mom's boyfriend. I said, what? She said, trust me, Dad, it's cooler. Just go with it. I'm like, no, this is your big day. This is your day. I said, and while we're doing this, can we tell your art teacher that your mother and I are in an open relationship? Your day, it's my day. Let's make it our day. Wouldn't it be our special little secret day? That'd be fun. But no, this is cool. This is not where I thought I'd be at this point in my career, good or bad. Like when you're a comic, you don't know where you're going to end up, right? Like you end up doing shows all over. Like not too long ago, I did a show at a bowling alley in Ukiah because my career is right where I want it to be. Ever been to Ukiah, California? Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, because they don't deliver meth. You have to go to the source, right? I mean, you want to pick it out, really, is what I'm saying. But like, and I don't know what it is. Like, I was going to this one show up there, and for whatever reason, I know what happened. I had to take an emergency poop, and I don't know why I'm telling you this. Now you can't unknow it, but now we've gone on this journey. So what I had to do is I had to pull over to the Ukiah Walmart. I don't know if anybody's ever been to the Ukiah Walmart. For those of you that haven't, it is the Ukiah of Walmarts. It is. I don't want to get political, but if you believe that all lives matter, you've never been to the Ukiah Walmart, because they don't. Not all of them. Not most of them, actually. I did another show in Guerneville, California. I was doing a show at an all-men's resort, and I was getting ready to do the show, and I was at home, and I was going through Facebook, and there was a warning, actually, from one of the resort owners had said, hey, anybody coming to the resort tonight, just be aware that there's been a rash of roofing incidents. Yeah, when you're on your way to Guerneville, 2 R's you don't want to hear, roofies and rash. So I, took that very seriously. But my sister-in-law overheard that, and she said, oh, Steve, whatever you do tonight, do not accept a drink from a stranger. And I said, yeah, that happens all the time. Everywhere I go, people are like, hey, that bald guy with rosacea, give him a shot of chartreuse on me. Like, never the case, actually. I said, I appreciate your concern, but I'm maybe 5'6", barely 140 pounds. Roofies are overkill. If you want me, you can have me. All you need is a good back and a willing spirit, and I'm yours. But this is fun. I want to leave you with something, like if you didn't have a good time, at least maybe you learned something. I don't know, any other vasectomies in the house? I mentioned that I had one. Just a round of applause or little discreet winks and nods. I don't know. I mean, it's fine. We're all friends here. We're all going to my house later anyway. I've already made that clear. But for those of you that haven't had a vasectomy, this would be a great opportunity for you to learn something, right? And for those of you that have, it's a chance to relive a traumatic experience. So when you go to get a vasectomy, what they do is they make you read, like the doctor. It's not like there's a collective outside. Like there's a doctor that has, hey, read this brochure. Make sure you're not doing it under duress. They want to make sure you're not being impulsive about this decision. I said, have you seen my kids? I was like, Rocky, cut me, Mick. Let's just go, right? Like, I mean, we can make this happen. So we went through the whole thing, and he says, well, do you have any questions? I said, yes, I have one question that's been bothering me the entire time I was making this decision. I said, what happens after the procedure, like when I reach my full potential? Like, what I'm saying is, if I call the plumber to the house and they turn off the main water line and then I go turn on the kitchen faucet, it just goes and nothing comes out. And that would be a bad look for me. Like, I don't want to be trying to seal the deal on a date night and it's like a dog choking on grass, like. No, I don't want the pelvic dry heave is what I'm saying. And my doctor says to me, oh, I hear what you're saying. Well, here's the thing, Steve. Here's the thing about your load. He didn't say load. I like to think he was this cool, hip Matthew McConaughey type doctor who's like, oh, Steve, your load. Smooth, it's wide, it rides like a Lincoln. No, he said ejaculate, which is somehow way worse. So let's just go with shirtless Dr. McConaughey for the rest of the story. So here's the thing about your load, bro. See, now, the actual amount of semen in it is microscopic. So after the operation, the difference will be negligible because the majority of your load. This is amazing. Sometimes it's my doctor calling saying, look, don't tell this story. It's embarrassing. Nobody needs to know about it. I don't know how he has your number and how you're connected to me, but this is amazing. I feel like maybe it's are you me from the future saying, don't tell the joke? Am I your looper? You know what, guys? I'm going to leave that on a cliffhanger. No, I'll finish the joke, but I just don't have as much time, so we'll just do it real quick. So anyway, so doctor says, majority of your load, it's not semen, it's mucus. And that's when it gets quiet, right? Because everyone's like, is he talking about snot? Yes, all right, yes. But now that you know that, it can be kind of disturbing. But now you can make lemonade, right? Like real viscous lemonade out of the situation, right? Now you know that you can have fun with the language. The next time you have a cold, you can say you have a cummy nose. That's adorable, right? It makes blowing your nose sound a whole lot sexier, doesn't it? But here's the thing. Remember, should your partner prematurely ejaculate, it's polite to say, God bless you. All right, guys. That's been my time. You've been marINSANITY. Give it up for Griffin Daly.
I was going to say something about that last joke, but no, we'll just leave it right there. You're all happy with that. We can all wipe her, can't we? Listen, got a show next week at Vin Antico. I don't know whether any of you guys want to come out to a live comedy show. You guys should come. Vin Antico, just on 4th Street right there, okay? Starts at 8 o'clock, upstairs. Be fun, it'll be fun. Come out, wherever you are. You're a regular here, aren't you, darling?
Well, yeah.
Yes, you are. I know. We'll come to my show next week. I know you have to pay for that one, but anyway, look, thanks everybody for coming out to the great show. Thank you people at home for watching, and I hope you have a good time. On Saturday night when you're sitting there midnight drunk, it'll be fantastic. And come out for the next one. Bring all your buddies with you. Will you, please? Will you? Yes, thanks a lot. I'm Griffin Daly.